Hello, everyone. It's South Stretford Post. Let me get this straight. Hey, there we go. What's going on, everyone? It's South Stretford Post. How you all doing? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to Stretford Post and welcome to Breaking Dawn, guys. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining me this morning, guys. Before I start, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. And also, please don't forget to smash a like on the video. If you can kindly do that for me, it'd be absolutely fantastic. Now, guys, look, you know what? It's been a bit of a difficult week. It's been a bit of a crazy one, hasn't it? You know what I mean? We've had people, saying, I've had enough. I've had enough. I can't take this anymore. I've had enough. This board, this, that, and the other. At the end of the day, we know the problems at Man United, and the problem's always going to be there until the board are removed. Of course, Glazers and INEOS are there to strip down the club. And to be honest with you, they're diminishing our great club, to rubble. And they're using it as a cash cow. And to be honest with you, we've spoken about this week, and it is a difficult time to be a Manchester United fan, to be honest with you. But you know what? One thing I would say, I've been through adversity in regards to being a Man United fan for a very long time. And I've been through adversity. I've seen bad things happen at this football club. I've witnessed bad times. But the overriding thing and comparison to now is that we were in control of our own destiny back then. It kind of was. We were in control of it. Nowadays, it's like we're not in control, and we feel like we're not in control of the football club. And this is what is a little bit disturbing, if you know what I mean. So, little bit disappointed about that, but what we have to do as Manchester United fans, we have to pick up ourselves and we have to ensure that, we carry on supporting this team. We carry on supporting Ruben Amorim. We do not fall for the media narrative. The media narrative is out there right now talking about how Ruben Amorim needs to change his system. He needs to change his system. The system's not working. The system's not working at this moment in time. The system's not working at this moment in time. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Some of these ex-pros, look, they were ex-pros. Some of them were legends of Man United, and I love them too. Honestly, I love some of those players. But as pundits, as experts on football, I doubt a lot of their knowledge, because at the end of the day, they were players, yes, granted. But a lot of them were just said, like, press play and go on the pitch. That's it. They don't really research the game. They don't study the game. They don't watch the game. That's why a lot of them become managers and they fall on the wayside. They don't do good. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. Let's read some of your comments. Big up, Sanjay. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're good. Absolutely. Alison Moye all cried out on the radio. Big up, Sanjay. Big up yourself. Big up Sanjay, of course. Absolutely big up the Sanj, of course, everyone. Big up everyone who's in the stream today, guys. So, look, I'm having to report the news. I know that Manchester United will have a far better summer. I mean, they have to be honest with you. We will have more financial leeway in the summer. And we have to go and we have to honestly wait for that, to be honest with you, because that is when the true test comes, isn't it? And we spent 200 million this summer. And we probably spend around that much, maybe less, this summer. Now, a lot of players have been linked with Manchester United, but Manchester United are now going after the next thing, the next big thing, but undiscovered talent. Undiscovered talent out there. What's the undiscovered talent out there, you say? The undiscovered talent out there is players from South America, Central America, the Caribbean, Africa, places like that. And by the start of next season, we'll have a bunch of players, right, that will fit Ruben Amorim's system. They won't necessarily be superstars, but they will fit Ruben Amorim's system. Now, it's up to us to stay patient, to stay calm with Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim, he's going to have to make mistakes. He's going to have to make mistakes, because if he doesn't make mistakes, he's not going to try new things, of course. So we have to be calm. We have to be calm, and we can't be, throwing the manager under the bus. It doesn't make sense. Insanity. So the only legend of the club that actually won a trophy was what Sunderland was Roy Keane. The only that actually won a trophy what Sunderland was Roy Keane. Yeah, the only legend as a manager. Yeah, as a manager, I think he's the only one who won a trophy, isn't he? Only legend. And Mark Hughes won a trophy. Yeah, Mark Hughes won a trophy. Goodness me, Rasta, you're bringing in hard territory for you, brother. It's hard territory for you, because I will go back and I tell you, Steve Bruce has won trophy. You know what I mean? I could go even more. You know what I mean? Do you want me to go even more? Come on, Rasta, come on. Big up, Mr. Mir. Big up yourself. I could be wrong, but he's only, I think, at the moment actually won a trophy with a team. Steve Bruce won a trophy. Mark Hughes won a trophy with a team, of course, guys. They did. So, yeah. Not many. but there are some that have won trophies with teams and stuff like that. Ruud van Nistelrooy, of course, has won trophies with PSV. He's a legend as well. So we know that, don't we? Big up Tyborg. Look, Anfield roof was leaking a couple of weeks ago, and nobody talks about it because they play good football, and the club should come first and think about the infrastructure. You know, the thing is, Tyborg, is that Man United is a rubble. Liverpool are developing their ground. They just built a new stand. They've just spent a lot of money on building a new stand. There are parts of the stadium that are still not developed, but they are working on it. And the Manchester United faithful just want to see progress. They just want to see work being done. You know, Old Trafford is a rubble. I don't know if you've been there, Tyborg, but it is an absolute, you know, someone told me 10 years ago, 13 years ago, something like that. He was an Arsenal fan, and he said, your stadium is an absolute dog's mess. Basically saying that it's disgusting. It's old. It's rubbling. And that was 13 years ago, Tyborg. And yes, Liverpool have a little bit of a leak in their stadium, but you know what? They are developing their stadium. Have you seen their new stand that they've just built? It's incredible. And you know what? They are making progress. They are making progress on the pitch, off the pitch, everywhere. You know, the Liverpool faithful wouldn't put up with leaking stadiums that, you know, have not been touched. If they can see that the stadium is not being worked on, they're going to obviously turn against the ownership, which they have already, you know, and their ownership is far better than ours. INEOS, the Glazers in particular, have let this club rot to the bottom, rot to the core, you know, rot to the core, you know. And I've spoken about a lot of stories on this show about bad stories in regards to how this football club are run. For example, season tickets. Fans who've been going for 70 years, you know, have been told that they can no longer go to games because they haven't scanned their season ticket, because they have an old-fashioned season ticket on the paper. You know, and to be honest with you, it beggars belief. And then they took the season ticket off them. These are Glazonomics. This is INEOS as well. So, you know what? We can't defend them. I'm not defending them in any slightest form at all. They got to prove to us now what they are all about. And this summer is when they start to have to prove to us, right? And not only this summer, they got to start proving. I don't want to hear about the fact that they want to make money out of land around Old Trafford. I mean, we're going to take 7 years to build a stadium when we haven't even got a football team right now. You know what I mean? This is vanity. This is vanity. This is what they're all about. This is what INEOS are about, is vanity. And they're coming across like that 100%. Manipulators, liars. Can't defend it. The Neville brothers, big up, Mr. Mia. Big up, my friend. What's up, Sal? Greetings. Big up, Jim. What's going on, mate? Hope you're doing well. Ownership goes, it's out of our hands. What's in our hands is to be loyal to support Ruben Amorim. Absolutely. And you know what? One thing I would say about that is that I'm seeing a lot of people trying to doubt Ruben Amorim right now, which is absolutely crazy. It's like they haven't been watching the last 13 years or something like that. They just turn on, you know, this thing in their brain that doesn't quite click. Do you know what I mean? You can't. It's like getting two stones together and trying to create a spark, but it's not working. This is how these fans are. Some of these fans are. They don't quite understand, even if it's written all over their face. Do you know what I mean? Well, if they look in the mirror, absolutely. Big up. Darren, every football club has improved on and off the pitch while we have stalled for 20 years. Darren, you're spot on. Every football club is improving. Do you know what I mean? And they are even at their own pace, whether they're doing it at their own pace or not, you know, they are improving. And you can tell that by the likes of Bournemouth, you know, the way Bournemouth are playing, the way Bournemouth, you know, their infrastructure's building up and things like that. Even my local club guys who are playing Manchester City on Saturday, my local club was Leyton Orient, right? And they're building infrastructure. They're doing it with their own money. They're doing it. So Man United are there like, you know what? We're waiting for the government money. We're waiting for the government money. Madness. I was at Ojo a few times. It really is in a bad condition. The Frankfurt Stadium is a spaceship compared to Ojo. Crazy if you look at it. I mean, when you look at the stadiums, obviously Germany hosted the 2006 and obviously the last European Championships. So they do have very good infrastructure. Germany have always had that. I mean, Borussia Dortmund, Schalke, Bayern Munich, Frankfurt, as you say, even the small clubs in Germany have infrastructure. Do you know what I mean? You can talk about teams like Mainz, you know what I mean? You can talk about teams like that, you know, They have unbelievable info. Kyle's a Slyleton, and you know, I see their stadiums, and I'm like, wow, I'm in envy. I'm in envy of those stadiums. But when you look at Man United, you're like, you know what I mean? How comes, you know, small teams in Germany, you know what I mean? Small teams in Germany, you know, a Cottbus can have a great stadium, but Man United can't. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's crazy. Kamali, you need a afternoon live. I do have an afternoon live, Kamali, in UAE. It is, of course, 6 p.m. UK, 6 p.m. UAE, 2 p.m. UK, Kamali. That's afternoon live, my friend. That is it. So it is afternoon live. Yeah, so, and I'll do the watch-alongs as well. So, yeah, afternoon, 2 p.m. UK time. I cater to 2 p.m. I cater to the UK fan base. Of course, Premier League's in England. Jim, you're right, Sal. That's why it's important. And I'll add to your comment to, you know, your real friends are support those that love United. Absolutely. You know what? Loyalty is everything. You can tell a lot about a person by the way they follow their football club. You know, the way they turn against the manager, like at sixpence. Do you know what I mean? It's funny how a lot of these people are single, isn't it? You know what I mean? They've got no loyalty. I mean, isn't that funny? It's funny a lot of these people are single. You know, these fan channels that go against the manager. Do you know what I mean? It does make you chuckle, to be honest with you. Good morning, David. How you doing, mate? Good afternoon, all United fans around the world. What's up, Sal? Long time busy. He is speaking about the transfer. Tel said he's only going to on loan, no permanent buying deal. Absolutely, David. Big up, David. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I've got a show, Kamali, a Chatterbox every afternoon. Yeah, I've had it for years, Kamali. 6 p.m. Middle Eastern time, 2 p.m. UK time. 3 p.m. Central European time. You can join me wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much. It'd be great to have you there, Kamali. Big up, Kamali. Big up yourself. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're good. Yeah, so let's get into some transfer news, shall we? Look, you know what Manchester United are planning for the summer. I know they're going to spin this, but they are. They are planning for the summer. They've always been planning for the summer. Their plan was only to get 1 or 2 in this window. They got Aiden Heaven and they got, obviously, Dorgu as well. So when they're talking about the summer, they're looking at players that are bargains, okay? So look, players that are up and coming, but not quite discovered yet. One of those players is a gentleman named Wesley Franca. Wesley, or Wesley for short, Wesley Franca is a Flamengo player that plays at right back, guys. Now, I want you to remember this, guys. In the future, when you hear about Wesley Franca, I want you to know where it came from, okay? Wesley Franca is a right back who plays for Flamengo. His value is only 9 million euros. So this is the type of signing that Man United are going to be looking at doing. The South American market is incredibly affordable, and we are looking for affordable at the moment. In particular, if Man United do not qualify for Europe, which is an absolute travesty, you know, we're going to have to look at players like this. He could play right midfield and he could play right back. Now, this means that Man United are looking at alternatives to the right back situations that they have right now. The right wing backs, Ruben Amorim does not rate his right wing backs at the moment. Mazraoui and Dalot are fullbacks. They're not right wing backs. Now, the difference with Wesley Franca is that he could play right back, of course, but he also could play right midfield. What does that mean? He could play a wing back position. He can go up. He could bomb forward. He could be, you know, he can create things and he can overlap. This is the type of player that Man United are looking at. So Wesley Vinicius Franca Lima is his name. And he is a right back and right midfielder from Flamengo, Brazilian player, 21 years old, guys. 21 years old. And yeah, will fetch around 9 million. His highest market value is around 9 million euros. And he is a player that Man United are going to be searching, the kind of player and the kind of profile that Man United are looking for. You know, players that are good, players that are affordable, but also players that are relatively unknown. Because you know what? If we don't qualify for Europe, look, we have to win the Europa League to qualify for Europe. So you know what? That is a big possibility that we won't, you know, get into Europe. If we don't get into Europe, you know what? We're going to be targeting these players anyway. But you know what? Wesley Franca is on the market. Write his name down. Have a look at him. Remember, I said it here first. He's on Manchester United's wish list. Now, look, I'm here to report names. I'm here to give you names that Manchester United are interested in, right? Whether we sign them or not is another story. But So far, I've spoken about a few players that, you know what, I was certain we'd sign Dorgu in the summer, and we got him in the winter. I was certain that, that number we'll get Ruben Amorim, and he came through, of course, guys. So there you go. Let's look. Big up, because it's after 2 a.m. here. Oh, big up, Kamali. Thank you for joining me, though. Thank you for joining me, brother. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for your support. Really appreciate you, brother. Really appreciate you. I'm looking at, because at the moment, I don't just do this, Kamali. I run a youth football team in the UAE. I do other things. So, you know what? When I can do this full time, I'll be able to do it full time. At the moment, I can't quite do it full time, of course, guys. So, you know what? I just do it bits and bobs. Morning and afternoon, of course. So, you know what? Hopefully one day, you know what I mean, we will have a show and more shows and stuff like that. Big up. Jim, so it doesn't matter what the others do or what we have on the channel is the best community of journalism, along with Goldbridge is the best. Thank you so much, Jim. Yeah, Goldbridge is good. Goldbridge is good. And I don't appreciate anyone messaging me bad things about Goldbridge, because I had that yesterday on Twitter. And to be honest with you, one of the guys that comes on the show, and I don't tag me in your hate for Goldbridge, and he's tagging me on this. I say he's a friend of mine. He's a friend of mine. So what you want me to do? Turn against my friend, but just because you don't like him, because you're jealous. I'm not interested in that. But absolutely spot on, Jim. Big up, Jim, my friend. Absolutely. I look at the others. It's sad. They're immature, not worth the time and space. It's good not to give them airtime. You know what? One thing I would say to everyone around about the negative channels that are out there, and I talk about a few channels as well that are fake, right? You would know, Jim, because I used to go on their channels a few times. You know, I don't go on their channel anymore. And I've spoken about this on the membership videos. Guys, check out the new membership videos. Tyborg's seen it, absolutely. The why I don't go on certain people's channels anymore. And I explained to you why, and I explained to you examples, and I will give you evidence as to why I don't. Absolutely. Big up. Tybor, great fan, agree. Not always agreeing with Mark, but hats off to him for creating something. Look, at the end of the day, Mark Goldbridge gets a lot of hate. He's followed me for now nearly 10 years. We followed each other. We've spoken about each other. I've spoken to Mark about bringing him to the UAE to do a show over here, Tyborg, you know. And and that might happen in the future still. We speak about that and stuff. There's a lot of things that could develop in regards to Stretford Post and United Stand, you know, that could develop. And I'm not going to be, you know, hating on someone because, you know what, he's got a big platform and they're jealous. You know what? Embrace success. Embrace success. I was in the music industry 20 years, you know, and I embraced everyone who's doing well. And that's the way to be. Hate doesn't get you anywhere. Burning bridges doesn't move human beings forward. If you burn your bridge, you're not going anywhere. And that is a message to life. Don't burn the bridge. You know, keep your contacts close. Do you know what I mean? And keep sweet with your contacts, of course. Greetings, Tyber, absolutely true. Big up, big up. We never had a striker, and first thing summer, that should be the priority. We will get a striker. I think I've got a feeling Kamani will get Gutierrez. I think he will get him. Man United need another wing back. They need a right wing back. So they need Dorgu on one side. And of course, a player like Wesley Franca on the other side, a player that can play right wing back. Otherwise, it will be Man United are looking and getting in Quenda. This is my prediction, Kamali, okay? This is my prediction. You can come back to this in the summer. Quenda, we'll get a player like Wesley Franca. It might be Wesley Franca. It could be another one. So we'll have 2 right wing backs, 2 left wing backs. So basically, we'll have Diego Leon and Dorgu, and we'll have Wesley Franca and Quenda. So the wing back system in Amorim's team is the most important. When you got a wing back system, it contributes to the attack. It helps the attack. It creates more space. The reason it creates more space is because it spreads out the team. The team spread out, and you can do overlapping runs. And it makes the other team, the opposition team, indecisive. Now, that's not to say we don't need a striker. Man United are looking at Gutierrez. Man United have got a gentleman's agreement with Gutierrez. So that can still go through, of course. So that is still an important point, what could happen, of course. Keep it nation to nation, fam. Big up, big up, big up. Alex, I think Ahmed should be our right wing back with Kobe and Garnacho in the 10s. At the moment, Ahmed is a temporary right wing back. Man United are looking for specialist right wing backs. They're looking at Quenda at the moment. Quenda looks like he's coming to Manchester United. He does look about 30 to 50 million euros in between. It might get him for about 40 million euros plus incentives. Ruben Amorim, don't be surprised if Ruben Amorim does raid the Sporting Lisbon market in the summer. He will. And to be honest with you, look, guys, look, I was laughed at when I spoke about Dorgu in the summer, and people were like, who's Dorgu? Stop just throwing these names out there. Stop throwing these names out there. He's not linked to Man United. Absolutely. Guys, you know what? At the end of the day, listen, I will never speak crap, you know what I mean, to you guys. And I told you about the Tell deal. I told you about I'm a little bit concerned about it. And I said that, and to be honest, lo and behold, you know, and to be honest with you, the biggest reason that not many people are talking about is that Bayern Munich and Spurs worked out a deal with Kane, because Bayern Munich still owe 40 million for Kane, and they've override that. Tottenham are going to override a percentage of that money. So if we get Tell, so they played the game. Absolutely. Jim, Sal, one thing that comes to mind, if all the so-called channels got together and really put their energies to fundraiser, they could have done something special. It won't happen. It won't happen, Jim, because the problem is that there's too much jealousy and bitterness and divide in the fan base. You know, I'm a small platform. I've only got 7,000 for now. It will go up. But yeah, other channels that are on a lot of subscribers, of course, could do something, but they don't like each other. So it's not going to work. You need unity. I'm willing to unite. I'm willing to unite. You know what? I united before. I united with other channels. I've worked with Saeed. I've met Rants. I've met Flex. I've met Mark Goldbridge. I met all of these guys. And you know what? I've always tried to reach out, and I've always tried to unite with these people, you know. Unfortunately, the arrogance of them, they think they're bigger than they are. They think they're the voice of reason. Do you know what I mean? And for let them be, you know, let them be. I mean, the only one that I've really seen trying to make a difference, trying to make a change is Mark Goldbridge with United Stand. That's all. That's the only one I've seen trying to raise money, trying to do something special. These other platforms don't. The proof is in the pudding. You know what I mean? I can show them 1,000 examples of that, you know? At the end of the day, smart people. I've come from the East London, Leytonstone in East London, a poor community, one of the poorest in Europe, okay? I came from that to be working with platinum selling artists, right? I like to think that I know a little bit about, you know what, unity and building things up from scratch. Do you know what I mean? From nothing, okay? So these guys were given a platform from Mark Goldbridge, you know, to have their numbers. That's why. If I had a show on United Stand, I would have the numbers as well. Do you know what I mean? This is the thing. You know, I'm building it myself at the end of the day. And I've proven that you can build things on your own, and you can unite with people, and you can build bridges. You can, you know, but unfortunately, when you've got people who are intent on breaking bridges and smashing bridges down, that is when you, or they're only interested in, he's got a lot of followers, he's got a lot of subscribers, they're not interested in the content. That's when you have a problem. Kamali, yes, Goldbridge is good, a bit biased at times, but he's cool otherwise. And Alice is also good. Alice, Alice is a little bit of a clickbait. I would say that Kamali, like, oh my God, look at this. You know what I mean? And yeah, a bit like that. I don't like the clickbait stuff. But yeah, big up her anyway. Big up her. We need the number 10. Bruno is an average player. Can't disagree at the moment. We do need another 10. We do need to move on from that, of course. You're willing to unite because you're family person and honest and soul bear. Bless you, Jim. Bless you, brother. I don't care about differences. I don't care about if they hate me. I care about the football club. Oh, I care about if you want to unite, if you want it for the greater good, you know what I mean? You want to do this properly, I can spread the message way beyond, you know what I mean? Even beyond them, you know what I mean? And the thing is that they don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. You know what? There are big Man United fans in UAE right now. Huge. I spend my time. I've met them and stuff like that. I've met them. And we've organizing things. We're organizing unity. We're organizing a branch over here and stuff. And this is what I do. You know what I mean? I try to bring people together. This is what I want to do, of course. Fraga is a CM. Fraga? Who's Fraga, my friend? Franca is a right back and right midfielder, my friend. Franca. He's a right back and right midfielder, brother. I respect fan people like, yeah, big up, Jim. You too, brother. You too. I always don't agree with you, but the bigger than opinion is the love we have for our club. Absolutely, yeah. East London is massive. East London massive. Big up the East London massive. Absolutely. I know it's Kazi. Big up Kazi. I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the stream. Weren't born yesterday, but there you go. I mean, bit of a coincidence, isn't it? I don't believe in miracles, but there's one. Absolutely. Big up everyone, though, who's joined me today. Let me just read through some quotes and stuff like that, guys, if you don't mind. If you don't mind at all, guys, absolutely. Here we go. Here we go, of course, guys. So here we go. I feel like a school teacher. Here we go. Giovanni Quenda is one of the Manchester United summer targets. The 17-year-old has a release clause of 100 million euros, $103 million. But there is a belief that Amarin's former club would be willing to negotiate a fee closer to 60 million euros. I think it'd be cheaper than that. I've heard it'd be cheaper than that. I believe it'd be cheaper than that. But yeah, a player that Ruben Amorim is a huge admirer of course. He likes the player. And to be honest with you, I like the player, and he needs these players in there. He does need these players in there, of course. In regards to Paul Pogba's representatives had a good relationship with Jason Wilcox. However, in January, there were no talks about his third spell at Manchester United. Pogba has been concentrating on getting fit on his own terms. So the talks between Pogba and Wilcox were talking, but he is not going anywhere. In regards to his fitness, he's not ready in regards to his fitness. But Paul Pogba is still a free agent. Don't be surprised if something happens in regards to Paul Pogba in the next few weeks. Regardless what you think, Man United need numbers. I know he's a bit of a toxic influence in there, but that is obviously one. Of course, guys, absolutely. Guys, I want to read this out. Cristiano Ronaldo, I'm the most complete player ever. To say that Cristiano isn't complete is a lie. You may prefer Pele, Messi, or Maradona. I understand and I respect that. Cristiano Ronaldo saying that he is the best player of all time. Do you agree? I agree. I think he's the GOAT. I had some really bad coaches. Some of them don't have a effing clue about football at all. Who is that coach? I hear you scream. Who is the coach that Cristiano Ronaldo is talking about, guys? I want to know that. I want to know that. There's probably a few. There is probably a few in all fairness, of course, guys. But there are some comments, some quotes, some key quotes that I want to talk about, of course, today. Of course, guys, absolutely. A great fan. I know United kids, wife, and in that order. But in my eyes, there is nothing more important than my wife and kids to me. Yeah, absolutely. Me too, Tyborg. Me too. My wife is my gem, is my diamond, is my backbone. My wife is the one who she's the one who pushes me. She's the one who pushes me to say, Sal, you know what, this is gonna happen. She's inspirational. I love my wife, and you know what, you have to have a good family background. You have to have a good family foundation around you, and that is so important, you know. And I couldn't stress that enough. It is very important to have someone who really cares. Absolutely. Absolutely, guys. But yes, guys, so those are a few of the quotes. Of course, guys, those are a few of the quotes. Now, I want to bring in another player, a player that many of you have heard of a lot of times, guys. This is the shock summer target. The target is Dybala. The target is Dybala. Now, no questions in the post. Who is Dybala? I hear you ask. I can't believe I'm asking that question. But who is Dybala? I hear you scream. Well, Dybala is an Argentinian international who's played for a number of teams, including Roma. Of course, he currently plays for Roma. He has played for Juve. And he's played for a number of other clubs as well, Dybala. And Man United have been interested in Dybala for a very, very long time. Okay, he's not scored many goals. He's not like a prolific striker. He scored 4 goals in 40 caps for Argentina, although as a second striker, and he is a substitute player, more or less, of course, guys. But Dybala, his contract will expire in 1 year. And Manchester United could quite possibly pick up Dybala for about 5 to 8 million euros. So that, look. That would be a good squad player. It'd be a good squad player for Man United. It would be a good squad player for Man United, if we're being all honest, guys. He's not playing much these days. He is a right winger, centre forward, second striker, how you want to pull it. But he's not playing as lot. But he is a squad option for Manchester United going forward. And it'd be a lot of interest in him, of course. Let me know what you think. Absolutely. Absolutely, Tybo. I love my family first. Big up, big up, big up. Dybala is not good enough, if you ask me. I mean, at the end of the day, would you take Dybala as a substitute, Tybo? Would you take him as a substitute? Would you do that? I much prefer to look at the future, Tyborg. I much prefer to look at what we have in the future and look at play like Chido Obi Martin, of course, you know, Shea Lacey, of course, Fletcher. Those type of players, I'll tend to look at that in the future. If I'm being totally honest with you, I don't think we should look past. Dybala's decent. I would have preferred the Dybala now. If we got Dybala now, it would have been more. It would have made more sense because we don't have anyone really. You know, the fact that Ruben Amorim dropped the two strikers in the weekend it was signified that he's not happy with those two strikers. He doesn't trust those two strikers. They don't fit into his system. So we need another striker. It does look like, you know, he doesn't trust Rasmus and he doesn't trust Xerxes. That's not his fault. This is not his team. And that's what you get when you get you get a manager in between the season. And you know what? None of these players are his. He don't rate them, you know. We do have a gentleman's agreement with Gutierrez as well. Let's see how that pans out. Let's see if we do get Gutierrez, of course. Gutierrez owes Ruben Amorim one. He owes Ruben Amorim one. He owes Ruben Amorim a favor. It was Ruben Amorim who gave him his opportunity. Let's not forget that Gutierrez, he came from Brighton, didn't play any games, was released by Brighton, signed up by Coventry City in the Championship, and Ruben Amorim believed in him, brought him to Sporting Lisbon and made him into the player he is. So in theory, really and truly, Ruben Amorim deserves a little bit of loyalty with Gutierrez. Arsenal are interested in Gutierrez. Roma are interested in Gutierrez. Juventus are interested in Gutierrez. A number of other teams are interested in Gutierrez as well, including Barcelona's of this world, PSG's of this world. But Manchester United, I believe, have a gentleman's agreement and they should be getting Gutierrez through the door very, very soon, of course. Paulo Dybala is one of many players we failed to sign over the years. Yeah, Jim, we should have got him years ago. Yeah, absolutely. Dybala, if we ever get him, is more like a short-term fix. Yeah, squad player. I would also go for other players. Yeah, if we can get him on the cheap, that would be great. But I would concentrate on the first team first. We haven't got our first team fixed, have we, at the moment? You know, we need to get our first team sorted out. We need to get Ruben Amorim his team. Every player that Ruben Amorim wants to remove, you know, he should have the authority and the keys. It does seem like that's happening. It does seem like he's been told he can call out the players. He can say what he wants about the players, and he won't be punished. It does seem that way, in my opinion. It does seem that, you know what, INEOS have given him the keys to the castle, so to speak. Kazi, we need to win the Europa League to get a proper players. Otherwise, it's kaput. Yeah, I agree. Look, at the end of the day, we don't want to be going into the summer having to attract players with money. We want to attract players with European football, with Manchester United. We're European. We're playing in Europe. You know, we either win the Europa League or win the FA Cup. You know, either way, FA Cup, you get Europa League. You get the Europa League. Europa League, you get the Champions League. So the Europa League is the most important trophy for Man United right now. The league, I mean, the league is a dud. The league is gone. Yeah. So what we need to do, win the next few games, get a bit of a momentum, leading into next season, and hopefully we'll be ready and the bad apples would have fallen for the tree and the good apples will remain, you know, for next season's league campaign. We need to win that Europa League to qualify for the Champions League. If we get knocked out of the Europa League, we need to win the FA Cup to get into the Europa League. It's crazy, isn't it? And to be honest with you, even the Europa League and the Conference League, They bring in millions. They bring in millions, you know, of pounds, of course. So we need to do that. Tybo, if there's enough money in the summer, I would go for Florian Wirtz of Leverkusen. Wouldn't be cheap, but what an amazing player. Florian Wirtz is an absolute generational Tyborg. That is a dream. He would fit into Ruben Amorim's system to a T. But he's like 100 million, bruv. He's 100 million. You know what I mean? We got INEOS in charge. Do you know what I mean? And, you know, we can't bring in those sort of players, unfortunately. A brilliant player. As did Frimpong. He's a brilliant player. I like Frimpong. He would have been brilliant at Man United, of course. You know, there's a number of players in Bayer Leverkusen's team that are fantastic players, you know, but they are very expensive, you know, very, very expensive. Florian Wirtz, I've been talking about a long time, of course, Florian Wirtz. Since he was even younger, you know, since he came onto the scene, the under-21s and stuff like that, he's always been a brilliant player. And you know what? We should have signed him a long time ago. of course. He's still only 21, guys. By the way, Florian Wirtz. Look, let me tell you something about Florian Wirtz. His market value, okay? His market value is 140 million euros. Now, you could throw all the eggs in one basket and say we're going to get Florian Wirtz, or we have to split that money up and get other players. It's too much for Man United. Unfortunately, if we had Qatar, maybe, yeah, that would have been good. That would have been good, of course, if we had Qatar. The great thing about Florian Wirtz, right, is he can play attacking midfielder, he can play right winger, and he can play left winger as well. He's a great player. He's a great player, absolutely brilliant player. And problem though is value. The value is a lot for the Pulheim-born player, of course. Though the league is gone, there is still a pride of jersey to play. Absolutely, yes, Jim, spot on. Mr. Amir, winning the Europa League is not reality, my friend. Some proper teams in there, not impossible, but are we that? I mean, you never know, Tybor. Greece won the European Championships. I know, sorry to keep mentioning Greece, but Greece won the European Championships. Chelsea won the Champions League when they were low in the league. You know, it can happen. It can momentum in cup games. Look, we won the FA Cup last season, beating Manchester City in the final and Liverpool. You know, it can happen. It can happen. The thing with cup competition is that it's like a break from the Premier League. You can go in this like mini momentum, and it's like, wow, where did that come from? How did we manage to win the Europa League? You know what I mean? Like that. You know, it reminds me of when Jose Mourinho won the Europa League in 2017, and we needed to win the Europa League to qualify for the Champions League. Now, it all depends. I firmly believe that Man United can beat most teams on their day in that competition. It's not going to be easy. I'm not saying that. I think Man United are better than Lazio. I do. Sorry. But you know what? It is all to do with the fixtures in that league, isn't it? Man United didn't play one team below the top, I think it was below the top 10 in the Europa League. Not one below the top 10. And we were undefeated. So if Man United were undefeated in that competition, we're going to end up playing Galatasaray, guys. It does look that way. There is obviously AZ Alkmaar, but that we're going to look like playing Galatasaray, which is a difficult game. And notoriously, Man United have difficult games against Galatasaray in Turkey, etc. But they're not unbeatable. And that's the last 16. And if Man United win against Galatasaray, we're in the last 8 quarterfinals. So you never know. You never know. So if 8 years ago I would have moved to bring in Thomas Muller, I love that player. Thomas Muller is a generational, Jim. Absolutely brilliant player. When he was young, I mean, one of the most underrated players in the last 20 years. He's just such a goal scorer, a maestro. He really hit his form and his peak in the 2014 World Cup. As you remember, in Brazil, when they smashed up Brazil, wasn't it 8-1? Absolutely incredible player. Thomas Muller's the last of a dying breed. He's the last of a dying breed. What a player he was. Fantastic human being. Brilliant player. Absolutely. Wouldn't mind him, of course. Morning, Sal. Big up, lights around me. How you doing, my friend? I'll be doing well. It's the man. I trust him fully. Toga, Sir Alex, 5 to get right at United, and the rest is history. Just saying, patience absolutely lies around me. You cannot say it any better than me, my brother. At the end of the day, it is about patience. We can't be throwing in the towel right now, guys. That is just premature. At the end of the day, I know these other fan channels will do that. They're very used to premature things, if you know what I mean. So at the end of the day, look, you know what? We don't throw in the towel with our manager. We back this manager to the hill and back because you know what? We know the issues. You know what? We got to be smart. We got to know that. We got to know the issues. We got to wake up to those issues. And unfortunately, some people haven't. Sadly. Big up SLD. What's going on, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the stream, you legend. What's going on? Asal, the squad is looking thin. Should get Pogba on the pay to play Pogba. At the moment, Zerkamp, you know what? SLD, you know what? Man United have explored that option. I think Man United should get anyone in. I really do. And I'll tell you why. Because, look, Pogba on a one-off game in the Europa League would help Manchester United. I'm sorry, guys. Look, guys, I know that Pogba isn't what a lot of people want. But Pogba on a one-off game in a Europa League final, is it a no-brainer? Is it a no-brainer? Pogba played against Ajax in the Europa League final in 2017 and showed up, scored a goal. Pogba played in the World Cup final, scored a goal against Croatia. He showed up. You need players like that, right? Just bring him in. Bring him in. Just bring him in as you said, SLD, spot on. Pay-to-play basis. Bring him in on a pay-to-play basis. Bring him in under Ruben Amorim and let him cook. That's what we do. And you know what? You never know what can happen. You never know what can happen. What's the worst that can happen? You know what I mean? He doesn't play. What's the worst that can happen? Absolutely. We end it. We end the contract. It should be a pay-to-play contract. If you don't perform, we can get rid of you anytime. That sort of contract, of course. Philip Lahm was brilliant. Best fullback in the world, in my opinion, at one point. Absolutely. Also love Lucas Podolski. Yeah, very good player. Very good. Germany had a great team. Please no Pogba, great footballer, but some attitude problems. The Pogba, Lingard, Rashford. Yeah, I got that, Tyborg. I got that. But you know what? One thing I would say is that what we should do, if he becomes a distraction, we should implement a release clause in his contract that if he becomes a distraction, we can get rid of him. But you know what? At the moment, if we get an injury to Bruno, if we get an injury to Ahmad or Garnacho, we're very, very, very light at the moment, and Man United have no one left. You know what I mean? And we're in a bit of a pickle at the moment, you know, which is a bit of a problem. You know, Man United needs players. They need players. I mean, look, for the Europa League, Man United need experience. We don't have that experience, you know. And it was a clash with Pogba. There was a problem with Pogba with injuries and stuff. I know that. But you know what? It is like, what can we do, guys? We don't have any players, you know what I mean? And they've left Ruben Amorim with a mountain to climb, you know? But I understand your point, Tyborg. I really do. I understand it. It is a bit of a problem with his attitude, with his lifestyle, of course. That is a problem as well, Tyborg. You make a good point. It's a double-edged sword at the end of the day. And I try and look at things a bit more like openly. Has he changed? Is he different? You know, I mean, he's 31, injury prone. Man, you're going to convince me not to get him now. My God, at the end of the day, I'm just thinking, you know, I'm just trying to think, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, Man United are short. Hopefully, Pogba actually just changed since all the drama has happened with him. You know what? You never know, SLD. Again, this is two sides of the argument, isn't it? You know, has he changed? He might have not changed. This is why I say, if you get a player like Pogba, bring him into the football club, pay as you play basis, and also have a release clause in there. If it's not working out, you can cut his deal and he can go. Why not? Why not? Why don't we, you know, at the end of the day, you know, if he becomes an issue, you're not here anymore. Goodbye, sayonara. Could do that. Maybe Pogba could keep his head down. You know, maybe Pogba can change. But I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's all speculation. It's hypothetical. You know, at the moment, you know, he can come to Man United. Man United can go after free transfers. Guys, I'm going to look at free transfers right now, guys, for you guys. Let's have a look. Right. Current free transfers. Right. Free agents around Europe. And this is what I'm talking about, INEOS, okay, guys? This is free agents around Europe. This is free players. So players that are free, that could have come to Manchester United, guys. Okay? Right. Okay. Right. Let's have a look at this. We got Ben Yedder. You remember Ben Yedder? He wasn't bad, was he? We got centre-back Juan Escobar. Rafinha, attacking midfielder, of course, Brazilian and Spanish. He was a good player. Left winger Ryan Kent. Let's have a look. Let me think out some standout names here. Let me some standout names. Romarinho, 34, could have got him for a short-term deal. Absolutely. Let me have a look. Maxi Gomez, good goal scorer. Oscar Romero, attacking midfielder, of course, another one, guys. Man, there's a lot of players there. There's a lot of players there that we could have gotten a free transfer just to cover the squad. Some of them are very experienced. Christopher Kramer, defensive midfield. What's the worst that can happen? Do you know what I mean? If you brought in some of these players, there's loads, guys. There's actually hundreds of free transfers that Man United could have got. You know, sadly for them, absolutely. But yeah, it's not going to happen, is it? It's not going to happen. Definitely not. But there are thousands of transfers that Man United could have got, but unfortunately they haven't got, of course, guys. But you know, we have to move on to the summer. Free transfers are still allowed even a window. Yes, Tybo, they are. Yeah. I think that you can sign one. Yeah, they are. So I would not bring Pogba back on his day. He's a world class, but also on his day he can be shit. Our situation now is awful. I don't know. I think it'd be good for the squad, Jim. If I'm weighing it up, I think it'd be good for the squad. A World Cup winner, scored goals in the World Cup, big game player. And the reason I say bring him in, and this is the reason, because he's a big game player. And if it's a quarter-final, semi-final, final of a Europa League, bring in Pogba, a bit of experience in there. I'm mad than that. They're not experienced, are they? You know what I mean? Garnacho's not experienced. Imagine you brought a bit of experience in there. But as I said, we'll sign him on a rolling contract that you can terminate at any time if he doesn't do well. If he becomes a distraction, you could terminate at any time. I don't think that we got anything to lose if we do that. In all honesty, I really don't. It's not the first choice I would have wanted, but you know what? If you wanted to fill up the squad, do that. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, doesn't look like we're going to do anything. So it's here at the moment. It's here. It is at the end of the day. It doesn't look like we're going to do any business until the summer. That's what it looks like. So all hearsay right now. And yeah, Man United were in for Pogba. Did inquire about Pogba. Pogba's concentrating on getting himself fit. And let's see what happens in the future with that, of course. It's strange that we are looking for a goalkeeper replacement. Yeah, because Onana's just not that guy, SLD. He's not that guy. Onana is not a goalkeeper that you want to take into the trenches with you, mate. You know, he's unreliable. He's unreliable. That mistake he did against, I think it was Wolves, wasn't it? When he let it go, he let it slip out of his hands. My goodness me. I mean, he's an unreliable goalkeeper. Man United needs someone who is assertive, someone who's calm, someone who's not indecisive like Onana is. Onana, what baffled me at the weekend was that he was getting the ball and he was hoofing it up to the striker when we got Kobe Mainoo up front. What are you doing, bruv? What are you doing? There's no striker up front. I don't understand it. I really don't. Beggars belief. We could use Ben Yedder, to be honest. Ben Yedder is a good player, Tybog. I don't know why we're not looking at that player. Bring him in, you know, temporarily. Of course, Ben Yedder. Why not? You know what I mean? Free transfer, you know, let him have an opportunity to play for Man United. Who knows, guys? At the moment, we're in desperate mode. We can either throw away competitions or try something different. You know what I mean? And, you know, at the end of the day, we're out of the league. You know, the league is over for us. We got the Europa League. Why not build a squad, you know? Ericsson is not that guy, of course. Can we still get a free transfer player if we should be active? Should free transfer player, if so, we should be active. We should be. We can. Yes, we can, Jim. We can get free transfers, yeah. That's designed to complement the players on a free transfer because obviously they haven't got a football club and they're unemployed. Diego Costa, is he on a free transfer, mate? Jay, big up Jay. Is he on a free transfer? I dropped Onana for Bayern Sal. Must happen. I agree. I think it's a godsend. I think we need to drop Onana now. I just don't think Onana. I think we play all round as a team. We play worse with Onana. Sorry, guys. I watched Bayern against Arsenal, that game against Arsenal when we knocked out Arsenal with 10 men, and Bayern was fantastic. Saved the penalty, kept us in the game. I thought he was fantastic. And I just think he's more of a reliable. He's a calm head. Onana's eccentric. Onana's got a fantastic personality, don't get me wrong. But he's just not that goalkeeper to take us to the next level, if you want. Like when we play against Tottenham or when we play against any other team in the Europa League, we got Onana. And Onana's always prone to do something strange, and that is the problem. Absolutely. Tybo, I have proper pain when I think about when let Daniel go for free and bought Nana for 50 million. Mate, I have anxiety. I have stress. I have sleepless nights, Tybo, because it was a big mistake. And if we wanted to get rid of David De Gea, we had Kovar, Tyborg. We had Kovar as a youth player. We had Kovar, who won the Bundesliga with Leverkusen. We had Kovar in there, and we got rid of him. And BTEC we got rid of. And we got Nana. Oh, Nana. No way. I mean, bad mistake. Badly run football club. As usual, terrible mistake, of course. Possible Nana, maybe not a free transfer. Oh, Diego Costa. To be honest with you, we should have got him in the first place, Jay. We should have got him in the first place. I mean, I'm a big fan of Donnarumma. I thought Donnarumma would have been brilliant at Man United. I think Kova's a brilliant goalkeeper, but we got rid of him and he went to Bayer Leverkusen. Vitek is good, of course. Verbruggen of Brighton is a very good goalkeeper, of course. Yeah, look, Diego Costa would be a much better goalkeeper than Onana. Although I watched Diego Costa against Manchester United in the Europa League this season, and he did make a few mistakes a little bit. You know what I would say is that he's a better goalkeeper than Onana, but I wouldn't pay too much for him, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. So the same thing, no personal hate on Onana, but way too many schoolboy errors. Way too many. And you never know what Onana you're going to get. You never know whether he's going to come out of a mistake at the blue and, you know what, cost you the game. You know, when a goalkeeper makes a mistake, like the mistake he made against Wolverhampton Wanderers a couple of weeks ago, you know, it just drains you. It's like all your hope goes from there and it just drops. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, thank you, Onana. Thank you very much. Like we're not struggling already, mate, without your mistakes. It could be argued, guys, that the goals against at the weekend, okay, it could be argued that the goals against Crystal Palace could have been saved. Now, you look at the ball, right? Look at the goal. Look at Crystal Palace's first goal from Matata. Look at that goal. When the ball was headed onto the bar, Onana had his hands up and let the ball hit the bar. He let the ball hit the bar. He could have just tipped it over the bar if he was watching the ball properly. It was going so slow, he could have just put it over the bar. What did he do? He let the ball hit the bar. He let the ball hit the bar and the ball fell to Matata for a tap-in. You can argue the first goal as well. You know, he's just... We've always got these questions after a game about Onana. We've always got these questions. Could he have done better? Should he have done better? We've always got these problems, and it is becoming an issue. And Man United do need to address these problems with Onana. They really do. Absolutely, really do. I'm sorry about Onana, but you know what? I think Man United need to move on from him. I really do. It hasn't worked. We've had goalkeepers in the past, you know, that haven't worked. Alex Ferguson, for example, brought in many goalkeepers after Schmeichel. You know what I mean? Tim Howard, Carroll, Massimo Taibi, you know, Fabian Barthez, you know, and then eventually, even we gave Robin van der Howard a go. Eventually, we ended up getting Van der Sar when we should have got Van der Sar in the first place, of course. He just cost us many points this season. He's apparently good with his feet, but he needs 2 minutes older. Exactly, Tyborg. He contradicts that argument, doesn't he? He contradicts that argument. I don't think Ruben Amorim is a big fan. I look at it right now, and I think that he's one of the worst goalkeepers I've seen, I'll be honest, in regards to mistakes for Man United. And, you know, as a first-team goalkeeper, I would say that it's a mistake getting him in. Absolutely. And, it hasn't worked. And maybe we should move him on in the future. A goalkeeper is the difference between, you know what, winning and losing at the end of the day. Against Arsenal, Bayern won us that game. Name a game where Onana has won us the game. We would have lost that game against Arsenal with Onana in the FA Cup. Onana looked good Inter Milan because he has solid defence in front of him. I think I bought him after the Champions League final. No, yeah, we bought him after the Champions League final. But yes, the defence was more solid, more experienced. But he made a lot of mistakes. And as a guy heavily connected to Italy, they said, Inter Milan fans said, we snap your hand off for 50 million. Thank you very much. Why didn't Inter Milan put up a fight? They didn't want him. He made too many mistakes over the course of a season. He just done well in Champions League. Fabian made mistakes too, but also did well. Fabian Barthez made mistakes, but Fabian Barthez was also a proven player, won the World Cup, and also saved a lot of shots. Fabian Barthez came out with some of the most amazing saves, but it was not right for Man United. He wasn't good with Man United, you know? He wasn't good for Man United and just didn't fit. Man United have always done well when we've had a tall, domineering goalkeeper. You look at Schmeichel, you look at Van der Sar, you look at those type of goalkeepers. We've always done well with tall, domineering goalkeepers, like a Donnarumma. That's why I said we should have got Donnarumma. He would have been much more of an influential man in between the sticks, of course. But you know what? we'll have to wait and see what happens in that scenario. Of course, Man United got no money, apparently. Apparently, we're skint. Sal, good morning. But Man United go and get Diego Costa as a goalkeeper. I don't know if he's a priority at the moment, Conrad, but Man United have a number of positions, in particular, the wing-back, right wing-back, striker position to fix first, you know, and then we can concentrate on the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper will be last. But yeah, best of luck to Tyron Malacia at PSV Eindhoven. Of course, Tyron Malacia signed for PSV, leaving Man United even more weak. I repeat. Yeah, we ain't got Mount. He's never playing. We ain't got Rashford. We ain't got Anthony. We ain't got Casemiro. We ain't got Malacia. We ain't got Shaw. Crying out. We ain't got Lindelof. Crying out loud. Who else wants to join the list? That's 7 players right there. Who else wants to join the list? Strange one. Some Wellcast says, but and then concedes from the halfway line. Yeah, he was too short, Tyborg. He was too short. And one problem with him, do you remember the game against Bayern Munich back in 2000 and, was it 2002, 2003? 2003. Or was it 2000 against Bayern Munich? And we lost 3-1 to Bayern Munich in the old Olympic Stadion, of course, the Olympic Stadium. We lost 3-1 and he kept getting chipped. I think Elba played in that game, but he was awful. Yeah. Paliuga was good, Sal. Paliuga was very good. Inter Milan, of course. Peruzzi was very good. Very good goalkeepers in Italy back in them days, of course. Very, very good. Toldo was a good goalkeeper. Very good goalkeeper, of course. Look good at Inter, not for me. I said a time ago he's not good. He had some good matches in Champions League that season. That's it. But doesn't every goalkeeper have good matches, isn't it? Story. Absolutely. Big up story. Isn't it that some goalkeepers just have a good match here and there, and sometimes you can have a good tournament, but overall the course of a season, it's just not working. You're not good, over the course of a season, and unfortunately, that is. You find out about goalkeepers, don't you? You find out about them, over the course of a season. When in the league, you find out if they're good enough for Man United or not. And there's been many goalkeepers. Look for example, Tim Howard. Tim Howard won the Player of the Year, Goalkeeper of the Year. Was it Golden Glove? At Man United, then the next season became one of the worst goalkeepers in the country. Yeah, a goalkeeper is measured on longevity and how he performs throughout the season and the season after. And also the mistakes he makes. And the mistakes, not only the mistakes he makes, the caliber of mistakes he makes. For example, Tim Howard, the goal against Porto, which knocked Man United out of the Champions League. Should never have happened. Paul Scholes scored a goal to make it 2-0. Was not offside, by the way. And it made Jose Mourinho's career by that cheating game, But that goal for Porto, which sent us out, it sort of signified a great goalkeeper from an average goalkeeper, because great goalkeepers don't make mistakes. Like, for example, big game mistakes I'm talking about. So if you look at Peter Schmeichel, right, and you look at the games he played, the finals he played, name one final mistake that Peter Schmeichel did. Name one big, high-profile error that Schmeichel did. Yes, he made mistakes. He did. I remember one against Sunderland in the FA Cup. He sliced the kick. He done a couple of things. But overall, how many mistakes did he make in big, big games? You know what I mean? You can't think of one. Van der Sar, the same, African goalkeepers don't perform to the best at Man United. I don't know. Thinking about African goalkeeper, there was that French African goalkeeper was pretty good. I've forgotten his name. What's that French goalkeeper who played for France, guys? Lama? Was it Lama? He played a second fiddle to Fabien Barthez, and when he was playing for France, he was African descent. Rasmus, Sam, Mata, Bruno, Mainu, Garnacho, Dorgu, Ahmed, Ugarte, Delict, Bayinde. Yeah, that's it. Big up, GK. Also, Angelus Christiasis, my Greek brother. Absolutely. Big up. Guys, you know what? It's been a great show. And as usual, I want to thank everyone, as usual, for joining me today on Breaking Dawn. Guys, I will be back later on for Chatterbox for the match preview between Manchester United and Leicester City. Please don't forget to join me for that. It's going to be a great show. You never know what news is going to come in. Of course, Man United are for the news every single minute, isn't it, at the end of the day? Love that in was so world class, mate. Sign him too late. Mate, see you at 9 p.m. Big up, brother. Big up yourself. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day, morning, evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. And guys, you know what? We're just counting down to the Leicester game now. And you know what? You never know what can happen in cups, do you? You never know. Take it easy, guys. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn. Take it easy. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to smash a like, guys, please. Thank you very much. Peace.